Welcome back to the Ask the Imam show. This is Gary Payne. Man Musri, thanks for coming back again.
It's my pleasure.
We've been talking about a few things, down to the fasting, down to prophets. One of the things we didn't really touch base on, and a lot of people, even in the Christian faith, don't like talking about it, is the offering and tithing, or at least that's what we call it in the Christian faith. They call it offering and tithing. There's two different sections of it, how it goes. But do you guys have something like that where you have to do an offering? Is it like something that's, like, I would say ordered, but expected to do in a certain percentage? Like in the Christian faith, it's like a 10% of your earnings. You have to give this weekly, or at least monthly, depending on how you get paid.
Well, we do have what we call ZAKAT, and the other kind is sadaqah. ZAKAT is the mandatory offering that you have to give, but it's not 10%, it's 2.5%.
Really?
Yes.
Sounds good already.
Sounds good already, yes. Well, there are, for most people, it's 2.5% once a year for money that is above a minimum, where you have to have enough for your family, take care of your family, yourself and your family, and then you give 2.5% on the surplus over that minimum. So we use, for example, the tables published by the Department of Health and Human Services that says the poverty line for, a family of 4, husband, wife, 2 children is this much. So that is considered minimum, that you don't pay on that. What is above that, you pay on it 2.5%. For farmers who, grow the land, because it's a gift from God, the land, the rain, the majority of that is a gift from God. So there it is tithing at 10%. But if it is watered by artificial mechanical ways,
Sprinkler system, irrigation,
then it is it drops down to 5%. There is a higher rate of 20%, but that's only on treasures that you get out of the earth, such as oil, natural gas,
minerals.
And that's usually corporations who do that. They extract that from the ground, so you pay 20% of that should go to the poor and the needy. And the tithing here, even though it's collected by the faith leaders, but it is not to be used except for 8 categories that are mentioned in the Quran in Surah 9 verse 60, and those 8 categories are like the poor, the needy. So you can't use it to build a mosque with it. You can't use it to say for many normal other things that we like to raise money for. These funds cannot be used. These are strictly to be distributed to help out who are less advantaged. The second type of offering is the voluntary offering. So there is no minimum, there is no maximum, there is no percentage, and Muslims offer it, every week or every month, and they offer it depending on the need. What the mosque need to be pay the bills, then they do that offering, and that's called sadaqah. Sadaqah comes from the root sidq, which means truthful or truth. So it confirms your faith. It's in a way you say, I believe in God, I believe in supporting good causes in charity, such as helping the poor, the needy, helping the mosque, helping the people who need education. You can do clinics with it. You can do a lot of things. So that is...
It's like an offering like the churches would do.
General offering, yes.
Okay.
But, I would love if it was 10%. I would tell the Muslims watching, learn from your Christian brethren Yeah, give 10%.
Why so small? I mean, 2.5%. I mean, how do you afford to pay things?
Well, again, we cannot use it to pay things with it. That the mandatory one, the 2.5%, is simply redistribution of wealth from the wealthy to the very poor, to lift them up.
So it's allocated for the poor.
Right.
Okay.
So in the Quran, it says in Surah Ma'arij that in their money there is a known right, and that is for the poor and the needy.
Okay.
And so that idea is, this is not to support, the mosque activities and pay the bills. This is really to support the poor in society.
So how do you pay your bills? Sorry, but I'm just curious.
To pay the bills, it's really comes from voluntary contributions, good people giving, and through membership. There is no set limit or level, so people can give as little as nothing, or can give a lot, depending on the need. So we are not as fortunate as our Christian counterparts in terms of revenues. We don't get as much.
But you build these mosques; they're beautiful. I mean, how do you pay for them?
Often, mosques get built by individuals who are wealthy, who like to leave behind a legacy.
Okay, so they're donating it. Okay.
Yeah, and they like to do it, and then they donate it to. In most Muslim countries, there are a government ministry for endowments, where the person who spent the money to build it will then turn the title over to this endowment ministry, and the Ministry of Endowments, they perpetually have to take care of it, and maintenance-wise and cleaning-wise.
Are you guys under their umbrella in the States, or no?
In the United States, there is no such ministry, or there is separation of church and state, so we're totally dependent on local contributions from the community. Yeah, we don't even get money from outside the country.
Oh.
And
not like the Catholics, where the Pope and the Vatican, they dip in and they help out.
Yeah, we don't have a Pope. We don't have a worldwide kind of organization.
Right.
Most mosques, 99% of mosques in the U.S. are individually run, and they have their own little board, and they are volunteers. So they raise money. They ask the people who attend, the members, this is how much we need to cover the maintenance and the bills. And when they want to build a new mosque, or they want to expand an existing mosque, they really go through fundraisers, appeals, just like any nonprofit organization.
Sure. But it's beautiful that you guys do that together. I mean, you're only getting 2.5% on the one thing, but you stick together to build the mosque together.
Right.
Which is nice.
Yeah, so we can't use the 2.5% zakat that goes to the poor, but we go to the community and say, we need the people, the business people, the people who have the money to help us, expand the facility, pay the overhead, the bills, the electricity, the water, the cleaning, the garbage, the insurance. And just like any, secular nonprofit, they have overhead, they have salaries. So we exactly follow the same way in doing contributions. We do fundraising dinners, we are dependent on ourselves and our members.
Actually, it's kind of interesting and amazing that you guys can do this by yourself without the backing of a huge banking system, I guess you'd say. I'd say the Catholic Church like a banking system in a way. So your community stand together.
We know historically in Muslim countries, there are people who leave these big endowments. When they pass away, they leave some of their inheritance and say, I want that to take care of, a mosque facility or a school or a hospital. And over time and over the years, some of these endowments were grown quite big, and they took care of a lot of giving students free tuition,
Nice.
giving, maintaining the mosque and all the services. So I think it works if, people are good, and we don't have to require them to pay a certain amount, but we say everybody participate at your level, and it's voluntary based. So you can give this month, you don't give next month,
Sure.
or for the whole next year, or it's really.
Well, if everybody gave
Totally
if everybody on Earth gave $1, we'd have 7 billion.
That's true. Exactly. So the concept there is you probably will do the same or as well if you allow people to be free to give on their own. Sometimes you listen to your public radio, and your public radio does fundraising and say, we have to pay for these programming,
Sure.
and they raise that money from members, but they don't have a set amount. Now that is exactly our model. We tell our members we have to raise the budget, and people contribute at different levels until we meet the budget every year.
Very interesting. Definitely appreciate you explaining about this. And if you have any questions or any comments, please at the end of this video, put it down there, and see you guys next time.